What's going on, guys? We're on another big job today. It's a little bit of everything. We got concrete cleaning, we got a building we don't have water on, we have statues that are old and brittle. So I'm back here filling up. The guy said, hey, if you got to bring water to clean it, just use our water to fill up. So that's what I'm doing. But if you seen the last video, I was out here, and so I have that over here, and then we got this, which they're coming in for the funeral, so I'm just filling up water. But you got Jesus over there. We're going to be hitting Jesus today. His hands broke off, fingertips are gone, and so that is definitely just going to be a soft wash. And then you got those two down there, right there. I'll give you a better picture of them later. Let's see. But I'm batch mixing here some concrete cleaner, and those statues I'm going to hit with a pretty heavy mix. That's going to be filled up with water, and then I got one right there that I'm going to use for the house. So I don't know why this hose, unless they just don't have really good pressure up here, or maybe because there's a kegger up there. But I think it may help. But anyway, they got a funeral going on down there, so I don't want to be up here making a bunch of noise while they're doing that. So once I fill all these up, my pump's charged, I'll go down there, probably hit these statues first, that way I can rinse them and do everything. And see, down here is where they keep we're going to be washing that one. They don't have power down there or water, so that's why I'm going to be just soft washing it through the pump and rinsing it. But yeah, we got concrete here. This building, I mean, it's not that bad, but they want it washed, so we're going to downstream it. We're going to hit those two buildings. There are two statues out there with a hot mix. Hit Jesus over here with a hot mix, and then hit that house down there with a just house wash mix. So anyway, let me get this thing cut off. All right, guys, here's the two statues we have. Let me take a picture of these. Definitely just going to soft wash this. You got all the black algae here. The concrete's dirty, it's separating here. I mean, it's not in the best of shape. You got a bunch of green algae here on Jesus and just all over. I mentioned to them, it looks like that's already been replaced. I mentioned to them about like the D2 stuff that is for cleaning this, and they just said they've just always bleached it. So I got my hose pulled, and I'm going to pull some water. But you got these back sides where they're green. It's just mildew and algae. So I'm going to get this dropped in. I've then filled up my water tank, and I got my water tank full, and then we're just going to wet the grass real good, even though we got a monsoon in this area yesterday and it's still wet this morning. I'm still going to wet the grass around it and then hit it pretty hot. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I got everything washed down. Moved my drop stick back into the water tank, ran it through, so I know I just wasn't rinsing everything with some hot mix. And I mean, is this grass gonna burn? It probably will a little bit, but I watered it. That's about all I can do, which it was about burn up from the trimmers anyway. But I mean, as you can tell, it looks amazing. I got both of them. A little bit of lichen on there I'm gonna have to get, which I mean that's fine because just give me a little practice for the lichen. I got it removed from a little bit of lichen that I got to remove from a steeple here in a couple days. But I mean, just look at the difference here from what it was when I started. It just cleaned it up immensely. So I got my Jrod that I normally use when I'm doing a house wash because it has more pressure. I know it isn't much, but it has quite a bit more pressure than just my other tip. So it'd just be like a good shower rinsing this off, but I'm just gonna wet all the water, wet around it, soak it in real good. That way whatever comes off is diluted on top of it already being diluted. And just go from there. So you gotta always protect the stuff that's around you that you're washing, not just worry about what you're washing. So I mean, this is just straight water. I ran it for a little bit to make sure, which I mean, you can see the mud that was there before. So now that I got all that wet, I'm gonna cut this off and start rinsing. So I can show you that too, I guess. But I'm telling you, this bleach is stout. I never wore a respirator, but after pre-treating 110 gallons the other day, I think it may be time to start looking into one. So anyway, just rinsing this off. This looks a ton better. The Jesus statue that I gotta wash, it looks worse than this one. It's not as big, but it's falling apart. It's not in good shape at all. Luckily, I kind of got a drain here, so this real hot mix can go down in these cracks. Because this kind of monument or whatever's falling apart. So let me get off here and get with it. All right, guys, here we're on our second one. I told you I'd show this one to you. This one's been messed with a few times. He's not as black with algae, but you can see his hand's been fixed, his fingertips have been fixed, his whole right hand's fixed. He's missing his thumbs. I don't know how old this is. I assume it's pretty old, but there's no way I'm getting near that with a pressure washer. And they said they just bleach them, so that's what I'm going to do after I get all this grass they threw off up here on it. But I got to get all the grass gone. I got my hoses already pulled. This one wasn't as far from the truck, and then I'll be rinsing all this down and hitting it. So stay tuned. I'm a little weirded out cleaning these statues. I mean, it's just a statue, but it's a representation of Jesus. And like, I'm just squirting his face, and I'm like waiting on him to say, hey, stop squirting me in the face. But anyway, just getting this thing rinsed down. Here's another one good and clean. Let's move on to the other project of this place, which is that building down there that doesn't have any power, but I can't clean what I need to down there because they're still burying somebody. So I guess the next thing is going to be going up here. Ooh-wee, it looks like it's about to storm. Go up here and get this place washed and get the concrete done. All right, shut off valve. Got my hot mix. You can hear the blast of air, but that's all the excess. Let's go here and stand in the shade while this comes through. But got a hot mix on this. A little bit hotter than a house wash mix. But I mean, this is nasty. Look at this. Super nasty. You can tell I just sprayed right there. Just try to keep it on here. Should take a couple minutes, but maybe a little bit hotter than a house wash mix. This backside's pretty bad. I just wanted it cleaned up. So that's what we're doing. No water. I don't want to say no problem, but you just got to figure it out. I knew this back here was going to be pretty hard to get off. Even if I was downstream, and it'd probably take 2 or 3 times. So when I made the batch mix up, I batched it a little bit hot, just so I wouldn't have to come back here and hit this 3 or 4 times. But and I only mixed up 15 gallons. But as you can see how hot it is. That right there, no quicker than that, is almost all gone. So probably a little bit too hot. This is an old building they don't care a whole lot about. I'm still not trying to damage nothing. It's just a little bit hotter than it would have normally been. So it's hot and I'm ready to get done, so let me get out of here. One other thing I wanted to let you guys know is, I mean, we use these tips, and this is a 2-story place, and I mean, we can shoot with this. We can shoot well over the peak with that pump, 5.5 gallon a minute. I mean, we can shoot way over the peak with this, and that's even me standing back. So don't be afraid to just soft wash something with a pump because you think you can't get high enough to get what you need washed. I really like running the pump to wash. Really, I just like not hearing the pressure washer, but we're just getting this side soaked down. It's not bad. The back side I showed you first was the worst. And so that'll be it. All right, guys, I got everything soaked down. Now I changed my drop tube from batch mix just to water. As you can see, this back here is a night and day difference. But I'm just running just my shut off, the shut offs that came, the quick connects that came with my kit, and just rinse it down. There goes all the air out. But as you can see, got a little bit of air in it, sounds like, just from going back and forth. But I mean, just rinsing it down just as if it was a pressure washer rinsing. I think I still have about, I mixed up 55 gallons, so I think I still have about 25 back there. But just like anything else, you just have to get it to where you know what ratio it is, so you don't get it too hot, and then just make sure you got enough water when you go to rinse. But that's all there is to it. Had a little bit of lichen there that can come off. So, I mean, it ain't no more than a water hose, but just rinsing away.